Good evening and welcome to the news at 6, where we get you the day's top developing stories. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan calls for an all-party meeting on Sunday ahead of the monsoon session. Floor leaders of different parties to be asked to ensure smooth transaction of business during the session. Death toll in floods in the northeast states rise to 83 with 53 deaths. Assam is the worst hit. 15 lakh people in 25 districts are affected by the deluge. Rift between the RJD and JDU widens in Bihar. Deputy Chief Minister Tejaswi Yadav skips the official event attended by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. JDU asks RJD to give a detailed explanation on corruption charges facing its leaders. And Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti meets Home Minister Rajnath Singh. Thanks the centre for its support to her government, accuses China of meddling in Kashmir's internal affairs. Top story this evening. Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan has called an all-party meeting on Sunday ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament that starts on Monday. During the meeting, Mahajan is expected to seek cooperation from floor leaders of different parties in Lok Sabha to ensure smooth transaction of business in the House during the monsoon session. The session that begins on the 17th of July will go on till the 11th of August. The House, however, may not function on the first day of the session on account of the death of two sitting MPs, Lok Sabha member Vinod Khanna and Rajya Sabha member Pallavi Reddy. Meanwhile, the flood situation remains grim in the northeast. The death toll rose to 83 across Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju, along with Arunachal Chief Minister Pema Khandu, took stock of the prevailing situation. Here's a report.
The flood situation remains grim in the northeastern states. The death toll has risen to 83 across 58 districts in Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. In Assam, rains have affected more than 17 lakh people in 26 of the 35 districts. The Brahmaputra and its tributaries submerged 2,500 villages and destroyed 1.06 lakh hectares of cropland. Around 52 people have lost their lives so far. At the Kaziranga National Park, 62% of the area is underwater, leaving some animals dead and some moving to nearby highlands. While in Arunachal Pradesh, at least 14 people were killed after a landslide triggered by heavy rains hit Papumpare district. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju and Arunachal Pradesh's Chief Minister Pema Khandu visited flood and landslide affected areas. First, they undertook an aerial survey of the affected areas. The Union Minister also compensated the victims' families with 10 lakh rupees each. While the Chief Minister said that the restoration process will continue once the rain settles down.
रेनफॉल जब हेवी हो जाते हैं तो इस तरह से कोई दुर्घटना ना हो तो हमारे जो डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट जो डिपार्टमेंट है वो अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स वगैरह तो गांव में करते हैं और हमारे जितने भी जो जिला है तो वो जिला प्रशासन भी सभी गांव और शहरों में उसका जो अवेयरनेस कैंपेन जो वो करते हैं.
NDRF teams are working with the district administrations round the clock to carry relief and rescue operations. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The crisis in Bihar's ruling Grand Alliance took a new turn on Saturday with Deputy Chief Minister Tejaswi Yadav skipping an official function with Chief Minister Nitish Kumar in Patna. Tejaswi was scheduled to attend a program marking the first anniversary of the Vishwa Yuva Kaushal Divas at Patna's Gyan Bhavan. He was listed as a distinguished guest in a promotional pamphlet for the event.
In fresh evidence of the tussle between the ruling alliance partners in Bihar, Deputy Chief Minister Tejaswi Yadav skipped an official event attended by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. The JDU has set a deadline for the RJD leader to resign over corruption charges against him and also asked his family members, including RJD Chief Lalu Yadav, to furnish a detailed explanation on the charges. Media reports said that Nitish Kumar is likely to prefer that Tejaswi exits the government if he can't rebut the CBI charge. Lalu Prasad Yadav has, however, made it clear that his son Tejaswi will not resign.
जितना ये षड्यंत्र हो रहा है, जितना षड्यंत्र हो रहा है, 27 तारीख को अगस्त को रैली है, इस बीच हम जाके जनता को बताएंगे, जनता के मालिकों के बीच में हम जाएंगे। तेजस्वी ने यह बयान दिया, मैं भी बयान दे रहा हूं कि हमको फुर्सत नहीं मिल रहा है कोर्ट कचहरी से।
However, the RJD has maintained that it will not leave the coalition in the state.
हम तो ये इसको कोई इंडिकेशन हम नहीं कहेंगे, कोई कार्यक्रम में नहीं जाते। निश्चित रूप से हम लोग का भी कार्यक्रम रहता है जिसमें हम लोग को जाना रहता है, नेम प्लेट रहता है। यदि किसी कारण बस नहीं गए।
With the JDU equally clear that Tejaswi should abide by rules and stand by the party, the BJP is also putting pressure on the alliance.
गठबंधन में कुछ बचा नहीं है, ये तो लाश है जिसको लोग ढोए जा रहे हैं और यह स्व और मात का खेल चल रहा है। कौन इस्तीफा देगा कि बर्खास्त होगा। राजद नहीं चाहता है कि वो इस्तीफा दे, वो चाहता है कि हमको बर्खास्त कर दें, और जदयू चाहता होगा कि बर्खास्तगी न हो, वो स्वयं इस्तीफा दे दे। तो स्व मात के खेल में अंततः बर्खास्तगी ही होगी, क्योंकि लालू यादव इस्तीफा नहीं देंगे।
With both the JDU and the RJD refusing to budge from their respective stands, all eyes are on the presidential elections, after which the fate of the Grand Alliance is expected to be decided in Bihar. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti met Home Minister Rajnath Singh in New Delhi on Saturday to apprise him of the situation in the state. She has accused China of meddling in Kashmir's internal affairs. Mufti also thanked the centre for its support to her government. During the meeting, the leaders discussed the security measures being adopted to ensure tourists and pilgrims remain safe, days after 7 Amarnath pilgrims were killed by terrorists. Mehbooba Mufti even said that the Amarnath pilgrims were targeted to instigate communal riots across the country and blamed the deteriorating law and order situation on foreign interference.
कश्मीर में हम कोई लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की लड़ाई नहीं लड़ रहे हैं। जब तक इसमें पूरा मुल्क हमारा साथ नहीं देता है, पूरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हमारा साथ नहीं देता है, तब तक हम ये जंग नहीं जीत सकते। इस जंग में बाहर के फोर्सेस इन्वॉल्व हैं, इन्फिल्ट्रेशन हो रही है, बाहर से मिलिटेंट आ रहा है और उनकी कोशिश यही होती है कि किस तरह से हम जम्मू कश्मीर के माहौल को खराब करें।
Meanwhile, 3 terrorists were killed in a gun battle that broke out between terrorists and security forces in Tral area of Pulwama district in Kashmir on Saturday. Police said that 1 to 2 terrorists are believed to be holed up inside the cave on a hillock. The operation is currently underway. Meanwhile, reports just coming in say that an army jawan has been killed in firing from across the border in Rajouri district.
3 terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces in Tral area of Pulwama district in South Kashmir on Saturday. The encounter started after terrorists opened fire on security forces who were carrying out a search operation in the Satura forest area. The operation was jointly launched by the army, police and the CRPF.
There was input about a couple of militants in that area ahead of Ariwal Tral. A joint operation was Army, CRPF and SOG of J&K police. That outfit is not known. They are looking like foreign terrorists.
In another development, the army said the Amarnath Yatra terror attack was a reversal, but security forces will continue to target terrorists. It also added that the situation in the valley is deteriorating but will remain under control.
And I'm sure that we will continue eliminating these terrorists who are moving around in this area. So I'm not too worried about the situation becoming too bad or alarming. The situation will remain under control. In fact, the assessment is we will continue improving the situation.
On Friday, a terrorist was arrested in the Sambal area of Jammu and Kashmir's Bandipora district. Security forces and Jammu and Kashmir police have reportedly killed 102 terrorists this year, making it the highest number of killings in the January-July period in 7 years. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Pro-Gorkhaland activists took out rallies across Darjeeling on their 31st day of the indefinite shutdown for a separate state. The hills remained without any incident, even as security forces patrolled the streets and kept a tight vigil at all entry and exit routes.
The indefinite shutdown continued in Darjeeling Hills for the 31st day on Saturday. Pro-Gorkhaland activists took out rallies as security forces maintained a tight vigil. No incident of violence or arson was reported, but the hills remained on edge.
A day after, protesters went on a rampage, setting afire an RPF office, a state-run library and a police outpost.
Justice चाहिए हमको, क्योंकि इतना हमारा देश सरकार पुलिस के गोली से मर रहा है, तो हमको बस जस्टिस चाहिए. बिहार लोग का बिहार है और पंजाब का पंजाब है, वैसे ही हमरो गोरखा का गोरखालैंड चाहिए.
The centre is deploying 4 additional companies of CRPF to maintain law and order in Darjeeling and Kalimpong. The district administration has also extended the ban on internet services till 25th July. With food supplies severely hit due to the indefinite strike, GJM and various NGOs distributed food items among people.
सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से एक कहना है कि जब तक गोरखाओं का न्याय नहीं मिलेगा तब तक हम लोग स्ट्राइक कंटिन्यू करेंगे, क्योंकि अभी तक इतना आदमी लोग मर गया है यहाँ पे, लेकिन कोई भी सरकार से कहीं से भी कोई इसका मतलब बात के लिए कुछ बोला ही नहीं है.
Earlier this week, the GJM Coordination Committee announced that it will begin an indefinite hunger strike from Saturday to press for a separate state. However, it was later postponed indefinitely in view of presidential elections.
प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन में जो है सारा मंत्री लोग सारा पार्टीज उसमें बिजी होगा, तो हमारा जो भी कार्यक्रम है वो बेकार ना जाए, इसीलिए हम लोग इसको पूछ रहे हैं.
The agitation in the hills started out as a protest against imposition of Bengali language in the schools, but escalated quickly. Due to the shutdown, except pharmacy, all other shops, restaurants, hotels, schools and colleges remained closed. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Guwahati High Court has stayed till Monday the Nagaland Governor's directive to State Chief Minister Shirozele Lezetso to seek a trust vote in the Assembly on or before 15th of July. The High Court stayed Governor P.B. Acharya's order on a plea by the Chief Minister. The petition argued that the Governor's directive was ex facie unconstitutional, illegal, arbitrary and violative of the basic features of the Constitution. It said the process of by-elections in which the Chief Minister is seeking to be elected is already under process and that the trust vote should be sought after the polls. It also said that the Governor virtually sought to strangulate the will of the Council of Ministers and has used the office of the Governor to suit his political aims. Meanwhile, the Council of Ministers, led by Chief Minister Lezetso, called on the Governor, P.B. Acharya, who reportedly told the Chief Minister to bring about reconciliation among his legislators. The Democratic Alliance of Nagaland Coordination Committee said that the coalition and that the crisis was only within the NPF party. More news from Nagaland and other updates from across the country now in Nationwide. NDA's presidential nominee Ramnath Kovind will visit Gujarat tomorrow as part of his nationwide tour to seek support from elected representatives. Kovind will hold a meeting in Gandhinagar with BJP MPs and state legislators. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari and senior party leader Kailash Vijayvargiya are accompanying. A major portion of the National Highway 2 between Nagaland and Manipur was completely washed away after a landslide in Nagaland's Kohima district. Traffic movement came to a standstill as 70 meters of the road was washed away by the landslide. Rescue teams evacuated around 1,400 residents from Tankara town of Gujarat after a cloudburst led to flash floods. The cloudburst submerged houses and roads, and residents waded through water as they fled their homes. Many people were evacuated to safer places with arrangements for a safe stay. Four sanitation workers died of suffocation while cleaning a septic tank in Ghitorni. They were pulled out in an unconscious state by the fire department personnel. It is suspected that they inhaled toxic gases inside the tank. All right, with that, a quick break here, but we'll be back with more news in a bit, including the international stories. Stay with us.
I think they're ready to surrender.
आईएनए की बागी फौजियों पर अंग्रेज देशद्रोह का मुकदमा चलाएंगे।
उन तीनों के बचने के चांसेस कम हैं।
ये कोई आम केस नहीं, कोर्ट मार्शल है। बोला भाई, एक केस आप कांग्रेस के लिए नहीं, सुभाष बोस के लिए लड़ी।
Lieutenant Gobak Singh Dillon, Captain Shah Nawaz Khan, Captain P.K. Sehgal. Section 41, waging war against the king. You are charged with murder. Do you plead guilty to the charges read out?
ईमानदारी से आजादी के लिए लड़ने वाली अगर कोई फौज है तो उसका नाम है आजाद हिंद फौज।
The safety, honor and welfare of your country comes first, always.
British Indian Army hand you over to the Japanese Imperial Army.
हिंदुस्तान और अंग्रेजों के बीच एक धागा था, वो टूट गया।
इस बार कुछ ऊपर नीचे हुआ तो देश में बवाल मच जाए। अब जनता किसी अंग्रेज को नहीं छोड़ेगी।
रात दिन अपने सीने विच वजदी आजादी दे राग नू बंद कर ला।
अंग्रेजी अफसरों ने साडी हिफाजत नहीं की, तो वो हमारी वफादारी के हकदार किस तरह हो सकते हैं?
आज हिंदुस्तानी फौज के पास अपना असली मकसद है, हिंदुस्तान की आजादी।
तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा।
ये मुकदमा पूरी इंडियन नेशनल आर्मी का है।
क्योंकि हमने वो दिन देखा है जब हमें ऐसा लगा था कि हमने हिंदुस्तान को वाकई आजाद कर दिया।
देश की आजादी की लड़ाई कोर्ट में लड़ी जा रही है और इस वक्त पूरा देश एक साथ तैनात है।
This trial and its judgment shall be remembered throughout history.
बस्ती आती हैं तो कोलगेट लगा लेती हैं हाथों पर, गुब्बारा से फूल जाता है, कभी मिट्टी का तेल लगा लेती हैं। नहीं माना तो डंडी की पिटाई करते हैं। काम तो जी 5 साल तक कर रहे हैं। अभी आपके सामने ही बैठते हैं, आगे से क्या ले रहे हैं।
बाल मजदूरी पर देखिए हमारी खास पेशकश, बंद हुआ बचपन, सिर्फ राज्यसभा टेलीविजन पर।
Welcome back. Let's get you some international news now. And America's annual defense budget of about $621.5 billion for the next fiscal has been passed by the House of Representatives. Among other things, it seeks advancing military cooperation with India. An amendment on enhancing cooperation with India was moved by Indian-American Congressman Ami Bera and was adopted by a voice vote. The India-related amendment requires the development of a strategy to advance defense cooperation between the United States and India. Post the amendment, the U.S. is expected to address critical issues like common security challenges, the role of partners and allies, and areas for collaboration in science and technology. This, the U.S. believes, will enhance its own defense and the ability to meet the evolving security challenges of the 21st century. Meanwhile, the United States says that it is still not sure if Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was dead. This despite reports from Syria saying so. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis on Friday said the U.S. could not prove Baghdadi had been killed. It is noteworthy that the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights earlier this week said that it had confirmed information that Baghdadi had been killed. However, Western and Iraqi officials have been skeptical about the news. The US has placed a $25 million bounty on Baghdadi's head. Last month, Russia had claimed that it had likely killed Baghdadi in an airstrike on a southern suburb of Raqqa.
There's been a lot of media interest in the whereabouts and status of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Despite all the helpful reports to us from every source imaginable, I'm unable to confirm or deny where he is or whether he is alive or dead. Let me just say for the record, my fervent hope is it is the latter.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon said on Friday that US forces have killed Abu Zeid, the leader of IS Khorasan, the terror group's Afghanistan affiliate. Zeid was reportedly killed in a strike on the group's headquarters in Kunar province on the 11th of July. Afghan and US forces launched a counter-IS offensive in Afghanistan early in March this year, with the US pledging to drive the terror group out of the country by the end of 2017. Now in news from Turkey, it has dismissed more than 7,000 people, ministry staff and academics on the eve of the anniversary of last year's attempted coup to bring down President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The latest decree is part of a crackdown triggered by the failed coup, which Turkey says was organized by US-based Islamic cleric Fethullah Gulen, a former ally of President Erdogan. Today, Turkey marks 1 year since rogue soldiers bombed buildings and opened fire on civilians. More than 250 people were killed in the violence. In all, Turkey has sacked or suspended more than 150,000 officials and arrested some 50,000 people from the military, police, judiciary, academia and other sectors. Meanwhile, Gulen, who remains in the United States, denies any involvement in the attempted coup. Washington has so far resisted calls from the Turkish authorities to extradite the cleric.
İşte bu kadar kişi işlerinden edildi. Bundan sonra imkanları, ihtiyaçları nasıl karşılanacak? Gitsin özel sektörde çalışsın. Bize ne? Onu mu düşüneceğiz bir de? Gitsin özel sektörde çalışsın.
Fethullah Gülen, the leader of Fethullah Gülen terrorist organization, still lives in a compound in Salisbury, Pennsylvania. Think carefully about that for a moment. An organization run from Pennsylvania tried to overthrow the Turkish state on July 15, 2016, leading to the deaths of hundreds of Turks. Yet, the United States has done nothing to limit Gülen's activities, let alone taking concrete steps to meet Turkey's request to extradite or detain him in accordance with the agreement that we have signed in 1979.
And here's a look at some more developments from across the world in Global Buzz. Syrian government airstrikes on 2 rebel-held areas near Damascus killed 7 people, including 2 children. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said that 5 of the deaths, including the children, were in strikes on Ain Tarma in the eastern Ghouta region, the largest rebel enclave around the capital. The 2 other deaths were in Zamalka. The strikes injured at least 15 people, some of whom were in serious condition, is what the Monitor said. One person is missing and 18 workers rescued after an offshore booster station caught fire in China's Jiangsu province. Local maritime support teams immediately rushed to the scene as the blaze occurred at the station in Yancheng City. More than 40 boats from different departments, including the maritime sector, Coast Guard and marine fishery, have been sent out to carry out the search and rescue work. The UN criticized Sri Lanka for slow progress in addressing war crimes and past human rights abuses as the international community was running out of patience. The UN and rights activists accused the Sri Lankan military of killing thousands of civilians, mostly Tamils, in the last weeks of the civil war with Tamil separatists. Sri Lanka could face a range of measures, including a referral to the UN Security Council, if it fails to meet commitments it made under a 2015 UN resolution. China's Nobel laureate Liu Xiaobo, who died in custody following a battle with cancer, was cremated today. The 61-year-old human rights activist died due to multiple organ failure. Family members and friends of Liu bade farewell to him in northeast China's Shenyang city. 3 people died and at least 5 were injured in a fire that consumed 3 floors of a 36-story condominium tower in Honolulu City. Firefighters sprayed water onto the flames from nearby balconies and brought them under control. Officials said the fire would have been contained if the building had a sprinkler system. That's all we have for you in the news at 6. Have a good evening.